All right, so think about what you did yesterday. What did you do? A call-in you had to cover, a piece of equipment acting up, a customer complaint that made it to your phone, an employee who needed to be told what to do for the third time that week, maybe a supply order that didn't show up, maybe a line that got backed up because nobody was paying attention. You handled all of it. You always do, and you went home tired. And tomorrow morning, you'll get up and you'll do it again. Different fire, same drill. That's not running a business, that's running a fire department. And the fires never stop because you never built a system that prevents them. Hey, I'm Josh Taylor, CMO at OptSpot, and this is the Car Wash Growth Playbook. What if the reason you can't step away from your wash has nothing to do with your team's ability and everything to do with how you're spending your time with them? Most car wash operators I talk to are buried in the day-to-day. They're solving problems from the moment they show up to the site until the moment they leave. And they're good at it. That's not the issue. The issue is that solving problems all day keeps you stuck in the business instead of leading it. And you know the difference. When you're in the business, you're the one making sure things get done. When you're leading it, your team makes sure things get done, whether you're there or not. Most operators never make that shift. Not because they can't, because they don't have a structure that forces it. Let me put it this way. You have a system for your equipment. You have a system for your maintenance. You have a system for your chemical delivery. You probably have a system for your cash handling and your daily reporting. But do you have a system for leading your team? A weekly rhythm that develops them, aligns them, and keeps them focused? Most operators don't, and that's why they're trapped. The reason you can't step away from your wash is because you're managing tasks instead of leading people. And a 15-minute meeting once a week is what changes that. Here's what's at stake. If your business only works when you're physically standing on the lot, you don't have a business, you have a job. You can't open a second location because you can't leave the first one. You can't take a real vacation because things fall apart the moment you're gone. You can't be fully present with your family on a Saturday because you're checking your phone every 10 minutes wondering what's happening at your wash. That's not what you signed up for when you built this thing. You wanted freedom. Freedom of time, financial freedom, freedom to be present with the people you care about. But the business grew and the fires multiplied, and somewhere along the way, you became the person who holds it all together, the indispensable one. And being indispensable sounds like a compliment until you realize it means the whole thing breaks without you. The operators I know who've gotten past this all did the same thing. They stopped trying to be the best problem solver and started building a team that could solve problems without them. And the tool that makes the difference isn't a training manual. It's not a new hire. It's not a better camera system. It's a weekly meeting. Not a long one, not a complicated one. 15 minutes, 4 parts, same structure every week. And I'm going to walk you through exactly how to run it. Part 1, start with a win. Open the meeting by asking one question. What went well this week? A customer interaction, a compliment somebody got, a moment where the team handled something without being told. It doesn't have to be a big moment. It just has to be real. When you open with the win, you set the tone for the whole conversation. You're telling your team that you pay attention to what's going right, not just what's going wrong. Most operators only talk to their team when something breaks. That trains people to associate you walking over with bad news. When you start every week by recognizing a win, the whole dynamic shifts. Your team starts looking for wins during the week because they know somebody's going to ask about it. They start paying attention to the small things that make the experience better. Not because you told them to, because they want to be the person who has something worth sharing on Monday morning. Part 2, review one standard. Pick one experience standard and talk about it. Not 10, 1. This week it might be greet every customer before they get to the pay station. That's it. Talk about what that looks like. What do you say? When do you say it? What if the line gets long? What does a good greeting look like versus a lazy one? Let the team talk about it. Let them ask questions. Let them tell you what makes it hard. Next week, pick a different standard. Maybe it's keeping the vacuum area clean enough that you'd feel comfortable sitting down on the ground. The week after that, maybe it's making sure every car gets a visual check before the customer drives away. You rotate one standard per week. Over a quarter, you've covered 12. Over a year, you've talked about every part of the experience multiple times. And nobody gets overwhelmed because they're only focused on one thing at a time. And here's the part that makes this work. You're not lecturing, you're discussing. When people help define the standard, they hold themselves to it. You don't have to police it, they police it for you because it's not your rule, it's their standard. Part 3, ask one question. This is the most important part of the whole meeting, and it's the part most operators skip. Ask your team, what did you notice this week? Something a customer said, something that felt off, something that went well that we should do more of, something that's been bugging you. Then close your mouth and listen. Your team sees things you don't. They're on the lot all day. They hear things that you never hear. They notice patterns that you'd never catch, and most operators never ask them about any of it. When you ask and then act on what they tell you, 2 things happen. First, you get intelligence that no report can give you. Second, your team starts to feel like their opinion matters. And when people feel like their input counts, they stop clocking in and start owning the place. Here's a real example of how this plays out. Someone on your team mentions that customers keep asking about where the mat washers are located. Next week, you put up a sign. That's a small fix. But the person who brought it up just watched their idea become real. They'll never look at that sign without a sense of pride. And they'll keep bringing you ideas because they know you're listening. That's how you build a team that solves problems without you. Not by training harder, by listening better. In part 4, set one focus. Close the meeting with one sentence. This week, our focus is blank. One thing, not a list, not 5 priorities, one focus for the next 7 days. This week, our focus is greeting every customer with eye contact and a hello before they reach the pay station. That's it. Everybody in the room can remember it. And next week, you review how it went. One focus works because people can hold one thing in their head for a week. They can't hold 10. Give them a list and nothing gets done. Give them one thing and they do it well. That's the meeting. 4 parts. Start with a win, review one standard, ask one question, set one focus. 15 minutes. So here's your assignment this week. Run it. Don't overthink it. Don't wait until you have the perfect agenda. Write 4 words on an index card. Win, standard, question, focus. Gather your team before the wash opens one morning this week and walk through all 4, or do it on a Friday afternoon. But picture this. It's 3 months from now. You've been running this meeting every Monday. Your team knows the standard because they've talked about each one multiple times. They bring you ideas you never would have thought of. Your newest employee already knows what matters because the rest of the team talks about it every week. Now it's Saturday. You're at your kid's soccer game. Your phone hasn't buzzed once. Not because nothing's happening at the wash, because your team is handling it. They don't need you standing there. They know what good looks like. They've been talking about it every Monday for 3 months. You look up from the game and you realize something. You're not thinking about the wash. You're watching your kid play, and the business is running without you. That's what 15 minutes a week builds. Not just a better wash, a team that leads itself, a business that doesn't need you to hold it together. The freedom that you were after when you started this thing in the first place. The reason you can't step away from your wash is because you're managing tasks instead of leading people. This meeting is how you start leading. 4 parts. Win, standard, question, focus. Run it this week. If you love this episode, do me a favor. It would mean the world to me if you would like, comment, and subscribe below. And if you want help building the systems that make your marketing and your leadership work together, visit OptSpot.com. Our team would love to talk with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.